Chloe had a health scare yesterday, and I wanted to share a little bit about how our day went and what happened. I noticed some bright red blood on Chloe's droppings, so I reached out to some of my bird friends and called the vet right away. The vet asked me to send some photos, so I did, and they called me back and told me to get her in as soon as I possibly could. They asked me if I saw any blood feathers, and I did see one feather on the bottom of her cage, but no blood. In the 2 days prior, she had dropped all of the feathers in this photo and more, so I already had a vet appointment scheduled for her on Tuesday to make sure everything was okay and to find out if she was just molting. Our good friend LG came over and got Chloe loaded up into her carrier before I was even dressed and ready to go. I'm an anxious person, and I get really anxious when I have to drive somewhere I'm unfamiliar with. I knew Oakley was in the Bay Area, but I hadn't looked on a map, and I definitely mixed Oakley and Oakland up in my head, so I was mentally preparing myself for a 2+ hour drive in traffic like this. But here's how the drive really turned out. Northern Californians, please don't judge me. I was in a panic, and I didn't look at the map. I didn't know where I was going. I just assumed it was the Bay. Kiki came along to be a supportive sister. I wasn't looking at my phone. I took these videos, so I wasn't sure if they turned out, but I'm glad they did so I could share how pretty the drive from Sacramento to Oakley was. And it was only an hour and 20 minutes, not 2.5 hours like I was expecting. We're almost there. The girls and I have only been to one avian doctor, and it wasn't a great experience. It was a different clinic, but we had some nerves going in this time. Almost immediately, they subsided. This office is clean, spacious, and everyone was really, really friendly and comforting. This is the doctor trimming Chloe's toenails, and while she's doing this, I'll explain what we found. There was no blood on her vent. She had gone to the bathroom on the way here, and there was no blood. And this doctor, also known as the cockatoo queen, could moonlight as a crime scene investigator because she noticed that the blood spatter on the newspaper around the droppings did not fall from a 90-degree angle. I'll include the photos of this at the very end with a warning first, so that if you don't want to see the blood, you don't have to look at it. Kiki was showing so much empathy for Chloe. Here she is giving a kiss, and she also gave lots of awws. Kiki even took a peanut from the doctor. I think she liked it. What do you think? Back to Chloe and the blood. The doctor did a pretty extensive examination and eventually found a dried blood clot under her wing that was very well hidden. This was the best case scenario we could have hoped for. So after we knew Chloe was okay and we let her snack on a walnut, the doctor gave her a much needed nail trim, and she did a great job.
You want to hold my hand? Okay. Here, you can hold that finger or Ariana's finger. There you go.
When we were done, she hopped right back into her carrier. And just kidding, it took a little coaxing, but it wasn't too bad. We snagged a bunch of celebratory toys from the front desk and headed home. Okay, the pictures of blood are coming up, so if you don't want to see those, swipe away. When I was talking to the vet on the phone, they asked if there was anything she ate that could have turned her droppings red. And although she was chewing on this toy the prior day, it wasn't likely. Okay, trigger warning. There wasn't blood anywhere else in her cage, so it was pretty wild that the blood from her feather fell directly onto her droppings. And finally, here's the blood spatter that the doctor noticed almost immediately. And for some reason, I was thinking maybe that was something I should have noticed. I don't think I'm great at expressing gratitude, but I am so grateful for LG, Julie, and the entire TikTok flock who was supportive and helpful during this scary time. Chloe's catching up on rest now, but she's doing really well, and she took a walnut from my hand again this morning. Yay!